Y'all motherfuckers on the right really, really, really need to stop, take a look around you and go, the left isn't Nazis, I'm friends with fucking Nazis. It's like, and this isn't me saying this shit about people I fucking disagree with. This is like people wearing fucking swastika armbands who have big fucking swastika flags. It's like, how the fuck do you have the gall to say that, like, leftists are Nazis when we're the ones punching fucking Nazis? It's like, how the fuck does that work? What level of mentally fucked do you have to be? If you're wondering what inspired the beginning of this video, it's a piece that I'm going to be responding to from the American Thinker. And it's not the title, it's the fucking blurb underneath the title. So the title is David Horowitz's The Left in the University. The author is Bruce Thornton. And the little blurb says, a veteran crusader against the brown shirt activists of the universities presents his latest report on the academic left. Seriously, the Unite the Right rally had fucking Klansmen and neo-Nazis. And how the fuck do you ignore that? Like, how deep is your cognitive fucking dissonance? It's like, you're the ones who are like, oh, we shouldn't fucking, you shouldn't punch people, or you shouldn't label people who you disagree with as fucking Nazis. What the fuck do you think you're doing? And it's not, when people are wearing swastika armbands, it's a safe fucking bet they're actually a goddamn Nazi. And what's really interesting is the whole Unite the Right fucking concept isn't fucking original, because it's the same fucking thing George Lincoln Rockwell fucking said in the fucking 50s and 60s. It's the same fucking thing he complained about. He complained about the fucking right being so fractured and needing to bring it fucking together. And he was the fucking leader of the American Nazi Party. So, I'm going to leave a link to this if you want to go read this shit for yourself. But let's get to it. The corruption of American higher education has been in the news a lot in the last few years. Motherfuckers, you elected a fucking president that started corrupting the word university by associating his shit with it. Snowflakes in safe spaces, crowds of thugs shutting down conservative speakers, craven administrators caving into demands of activist students, and faculty have become increasingly common since the rise of Donald Trump sparked a resistance, in quotes, movement. Firstly, with the term snowflakes, motherfucker, you're a member of a group that consists mostly of fucking white people, and if you call them fucking racist, they melt away like an actual fucking snowflake. And safe spaces. You're the ones who are like, duh! Even progressives who have run afoul of campus Robespierres are writing books about free speech now that their revolutionary children have started devouring their own. What David Horowitz has been warning about in his books and speeches for more than 30 years, the high ideological hijacking of the university and the betrayal of its traditional mission, has finally grabbed the national spotlight. The essays in his latest book, The Left in the University, are indispensable for anyone who wants to understand how we got to this pass. If anybody knows where I can get a free PDF version, I'll fucking read into a video about it. A couple videos about it. I'm sure shit not buying the fucking book, and I sure shit am not getting it from my local library, even though they probably have that shit. The first chapter, The Postmodern Academy, is a succinct analysis of the left's takeover of the university. It's not because you fuckers are anti-goddamn intellectual. That's not the fucking reason why universities have become left-leaning. It's not because you guys fucking hate anybody who's smarter than fucking you. He starts with one of the most publicized and representative incidents that illustrates how far our campuses have descended into preposterous political correctness and left-wing shibboleths. Because God forbid you stop people from putting fucking swastikas on the sides of fucking buildings and spray painting nigger on fucking things. Political correctness? Ugh. And this is another fucking thing. You guys say that you're not fucking Nazis, you say you're not fucking racist, but who are the most politically incorrect motherfuckers on the goddamn planet? The fucking neo-Nazis and the fucking Klan! Ward Churchill was a University of Colorado professor who called the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attacks little Eichmanns, and whose exposure in 2005 led to a national scandal when his academic and personal frauds were revealed. What is less well known is the enthusiasm that many universities have shown in inviting Churchill to speak at their campuses, 40 invitations before the scandal broke. Despite his vicious anti-Americanism and shoddy scholarship, they reflected views comparing America to Nazi Germany that were part of the intellectual... As Horowitz explains, such views were far from obscure to his academic colleagues. They reflected views comparing America to Nazi Germany that were part of the intellectual core of his academic work. Motherfuckers! What the fuck did the Nazis do? They demonized the fucking Jews and anybody who wasn't fucking Aryan. What the fuck has Donald Trump fucking done? He said that Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers. He's gonna build a fucking wall. He wants to stop immigration from Muslim-majority countries. And he didn't mention any of the fucking Southeast Asian countries that have a large population of fucking Muslims. You know why? Because he fucking thinks brown people are the only ones who are fucking Muslims. And comparing America to Nazi Germany. That totally doesn't fucking apply now when Nazis are marching in the fucking streets. And people are wringing their hands about punching fucking Nazis. They're fucking Nazis. We know what fucking happens when you let them talk their fucking bullshit. People fucking die. That's why we gotta stomp that shit out like it was a fucking cancerous tumor. As Horowitz explains, such views were far from the widespread agreement with such nonsense implicated not just one rogue college professor, but the academic culture itself. Also ignoring the fact that during the Second World War, we put people in fucking internment camps, and while we didn't work people to fucking death, we basically did it for the same fucking reasons as the Nazis fucking did with the Jews and other non-Aryan motherfuckers. Because they were fucking different. You have to see some of the fucking propaganda from the 1930s and 40s. Actually, I guess technically the 40s. Of fucking Japanese people. It's fucking horrific. How did such a consensus of belief and ideas more at home in the pages of Pravda or Granma happen? The Gramscian long march through the institution on the part of 60s radicals began the redefinition of academic work from a search for truth according to professional norms to a political activism that, in the name of relevance and social justice, shape research and teaching to confirm leftist ideology and discredit whatever alternatives students might believe. which would include fucking the Klan. And, like, oh no, people being interested in fucking social justice, perish the fucking thought of trying to actually ameliorate the fucked system that we fucking have, and trying to change the fucking system so it's not fucked. It's so fucking bad. These new academic departments and programs like Women's Studies and Black Studies, Horowitz writes, maintain no pretense of including an intellectually diverse viewpoint or pursuing academic inquiries unconnected to the conclusions they might reach. That is basically saying, like, you should fucking have white people teach black studies, African studies, because, that's like saying we should only let the fucking Nazis teach about, we should only let the Holocaust deniers teach about the fucking Holocaust. Makes no fucking sense. And others, like, including intellectually diverse viewpoints. Like, why the fuck do you think they needed to make this shit a fucking course? It's because white people didn't give a shit about black people until the fucking 60s, really. That these new disciplines were political rather than academic was obvious in their creation, which resulted from political protests and sometimes threats of violence, most famously at Cornell, where in 1969, black radicals with loaded shotguns occupied the administration building. And yet, you cocksuckers not said a fucking word when heavily armed white separatists took over a federal building and pointed loaded guns at the fucking police. And I'm, of course, talking about the Bundy dipshits. You guys didn't say a fucking thing about that, even though they were pointing guns at fucking the police. And you haven't said jack shit about the police fucking killing black people. Soon Horowitz continues, other studies like post-colonial studies and social justice studies proliferated to promote narrowly one-sided political agendas and create institutional settings for political indoctrination and the exposition and development of radical theory and education and training of a radical cadre and the recruitment of students to radical causes. Moreover, their claims to be pursuing social justice or equality have created an end justifies the means rationalization, a logical consequence of decades of university pandering to radical intimidators and campus criminals who regularly assault property, persons, and reputations with charges of racism, sexism, or even rape. Because the fucking Mizzou wasn't fucking racist. The people who ran Mizzou weren't fucking racist. It's not like there was a fucking swastika made out of shit on the side of a fucking building that I do believe housed fucking black people. It's like assault property, persons, and reputations with charges of racism, sexism, or even rape. Yeah, because Brock fucking Turner totally didn't rape that woman, even though he was caught in the middle of fucking raping the woman. He didn't totally rape that fucking woman. It was all this mass hysterical bullshit, right? If the ideas are correct, it's okay to silence anyone who disagrees. In the last few years, this phenomenon has become public knowledge, as Antifa thugs have disrupted campus events. Way back in 1998, Horowitz presciently called such behavior brown shirt activism. Despite the fact that fucking Antifa punch people in brown fucking shirts. They punch fucking Nazis. That's what the whole... You have fucking Nazis on your side. You have people who go to Stormfront. You have people that go to the Daily fucking Stormer. You have people with fucking swastika tattoos and armbands and fucking flags. You have people zig heiling. You have people fucking goose stepping. You have people in fucking jack boots. Horowitz, in his essays, frequently makes an important point. It's not just the ideological prejudices of this or that faculty member, but a whole institutional, professional, and administrative apparatus that has made possible today's overwhelmingly leftist and progressive university. Again, it's not like you cocksuckers didn't demonize a motherfucker who could, string together words in an eloquent fucking manner, aka Barack fucking Obama, but you didn't demonize the shit out of him, even though he was well-spoken and you fucking voted for a cocksucker who can't string together two fucking words without a fucking typo or coming up with some new fucking country. He was speaking at the UN and he thought Namibia was a fucking country. I'm assuming he was going for Namibia. But he fucking swinging a fucking miss. For example, the problem of conservative speakers being underrepresented at campus events is not a dearth of interest among students. At Vanderbilt, a conservative student group called Wake Up America was formed to invite conservative speakers to campus, but the university refused to provide the same sort of funding it gives to other student groups. In challenge, the administrator in charge of student life hid behind the speakers committee, which Horowitz describes as a partisan student group dedicated to bringing left-wing speakers to campus. With $63,000 a year to spend, the committee had brought expensive lefties like James Carville and Gloria Steinem. Wake Up America, Horowitz writes, in its entire existence has never been granted a single cent to bring conservatives to Vanderbilt. Cause you'd fucking bring people like David fucking Horowitz, you'd bring people like Milo Yiannopoulos, you'd bring people like Richard fucking Spencer, you'd bring these worthless cum stains of human fucking beings. They don't bring shit to fucking anything. Such largesse for leftists go beyond funds dedicated to speakers. In 2002, when Horowitz was invited, Vanderbilt disbursed over $1 million to student groups, ostensibly to promote a diversity of activities, in the words of the university. At the same time that Wake Up America received nothing, other identity politics groups received over $130,000. Horowitz recounts other appearances he made across the country where left-wing speakers received tens of thousands of dollars, while his visit had to be financed by funds raised off campus. Boo fucking who, ya bitches. Boo fucking who. As Horowitz notes, such political bias is completely normal in the academic world. It's because you fuckers are cancer! You're fucking worthless. You bring nothing new. You're aping shit said by fucking Nazis and Klansmen. You don't fucking give those cocksuckers platforms. You fucking watch as they wither and fucking die. The bulk of Horowitz's book documents his efforts to state legislatures and college administrators to adopt an academic Bill of Rights as a way of stopping such abuse. After some initial successes, particularly in Colorado, the campaign was stalled by relentless misrepresentation and outright lies on the part of colleges, the media, and academic organizations. For example, the ADR called for common sense principles similar to those colleges adopted over a century ago. Over a century fucking ago. In 2002, that would have been 1902. That could go into the fucking 1800s, for fuck's sake. There's a reason why you changed the fucking rules, because we're a 21st fucking country, supposedly supposed to be fucking run on principles from the fucking 18th century. Makes no fucking sense to me. But the principle that universities should base hiring on a candidate's competence and appropriate expertise in the field set, and foster a plurality of methodologies and perspectives was transformed by the Colorado media into affirmative action for conservatives. That's basically what you fucking wanted. You wanted to be given... You wanted to have your shitty ideas. And that's another fucking thing. You think your ideas are the same as everybody else's fucking ideas. You know? They're fucking not. Most reprehensible was the reaction of the American Association of University Professors, which has long touted its dedication to academic freedom. In 1915, the AAUP promulgated a report that gave impetus to a wider recognition of the need for universities to respect the freedom of its professors to practice research without fear of retribution or for challenging any ideologies, preferences, and prejudices. 1915. 102 fucking years ago. Ignoring the fact that that was during fucking Jim Crow and the mistreatment of fucking minorities, and it was only really good to be fucking white in the country, I guess it's besides the fucking point, right? The AAUP report became the template for most of higher education's policies on academic freedom. That was also 102 fucking years ago at this goddamn point. We're not using medicine from 102 fucking years ago, are we? No, we're fucking not. Because things progress. Things evolve. There's things you fucking tolerate up until a certain fucking point. And then when you reach that fucking point, you go, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. The University of California's Berkeley campus, for example, in 1934 established the Sproul Rule, named for its author, University President Robert Gordon Sproul. This rule identified the function of the university as the effort to seek and to transmit knowledge and to train students in the processes whereby truth is to be made known. To convert or to make converts is alien and hostile to this dispassionate duty. If political, social, or sectarian movements are to be considered, they should be dissected and examined, not taught, and the conclusion left with no tipping of the scales to the logic of the facts. You don't fucking want that. But again, you have to go back to the early 1930s for fuck's sake. 1934 is 1 year into fucking Hitler being in power in fucking Germany. You know? That's well into the fucking, I do believe, the American-German Bundassociation, which is basically a precursor to the American Nazi Party. In 2003, the Berkeley faculty, 14 fucking years ago, Senate voted 43-3 to scrap this noble aspiration. The distinction between indoctrination and education was tossed, and the faculty were made the arbiters of teaching and research standards by reference to the professional standards and the expertise and authority of the faculty, which should now govern the acquisition of knowledge. As Horowitz writes, academic freedom is whatever the faculty says it is. The proliferation of studies and programs nakedly political and designed to pursue politically correct ideology. Again, you're not fucking Nazis, you don't support fucking Nazis, but you're saying political correctness has gone fucking mad. Who the fuck do you think is like the most politically incorrect motherfuckers on the face of this goddamn planet right fucking now? Rather than a dispassionate search for truth through disinterested professional methodologies, guarantee that professional standards would be politicized, the academic freedom created to protect scholarship has now been changed to a substitute for it, a license for professors to do what they like. As a result, courses like the Politics and Poetics of Palestinian Resistance replace traditional history courses that present all the documented evidence of a historical event gathered by the neutral protocols governing research. So, like, you just said, they should bring, controversial fucking topics. We should have to abide by controversial fucking topics. What the fuck is more controversial than Palestine? And its right to be a fucking state, and its relation to fucking Israel. The decline of professional competence, as Martin Kramer documented regarding Middle East studies programs in his Ivory Towers of Sand, creates a vacuum filled by political ideology and faddish theory. Of course, the AAUP, its board dominated by leftists, had long ago abandoned the principles of the 1915 report, because it's not 1915 any fucking more. At this fucking point, it's 27 fucking teen. You can't, I love this shit, like, you can't point to shit from this fucking decade, let alone this fucking year. You have to go back to the fucking teens and 30s, for fuck's sake. A time when it wasn't okay to be fucking black in this goddamn country. Or any fucking minority for that goddamn matter. Tending instead to overlook infringements of it, like the excising of the Sproul rule, and even defend them, Horowitz writes, so it is no wonder that the AAUP went after the ABR, misrepresenting its clear meaning. And we're just supposed to take your fucking word on this shit. Fuck that. During the debate over the Colorado state legislature's bill to codify the ABR into law, the AAUP went on the offensive, calling the ABR a grave threat to fundamental principles of academic freedom and recommending that it should be strongly condemned. It also blatantly distorted the bill's language, saying it required that universities, ellipses, maintain political pluralism, a phrase that doesn't appear in the bill, which called for the fair representation of conflicting viewpoints on issues that are controversial. And that's the fucking thing. Not every fucking side has two valid fucking viewpoints. You either have the wrong fucking viewpoint and the right fucking viewpoint. Like, with Holocaust denial, there's not, like, Holocaust denial isn't right, and, you know, it's like, it's fucked up, I have to fucking explain this shit to you. And it's like, you just fucking gave shit about something that was controversial that had to deal with fucking Palestine. But they fucking misrepresented what you fucking said. The numerous other misrepresentations that Horowitz analyzes show that the AAUP, much like the UN, no longer believes in the principles of once its foundational documents. Which, with such contrary opposition by university faculty, administrators, unions, and professional organizations, the ABR didn't have a chance. As Horowitz writes of the AAUP response, if any act might serve as a symbol of the problems that have beset the academy in the last 30 years, which would bring to the fucking 80s when it was okay to gay bash people, its intense politicization and partisanship and consequent loss of scholarly perspective, it is this unscholarly assault on a document whose philosophy, formulations, and very conception have been drawn from its own statements and positions on academic freedom. Such an abuse of language to serve power and ideology, first described by, I'm going to mispronounce this, Thucydides, whatever the fuck, immemorably expressed in George Orwell's Politics in the English Language, is now standard operating procedure in the American university. Now that Donald Trump's success has driven the academic left into even greater absurdities and thuggery, Donald Trump didn't immediately kick out the ambassador of Turkey after he sent his thugs to beat up motherfuckers, to beat up protesters. He didn't do a fucking thing. Perhaps conditions are right for cleaning the Augean stables of campus corruption, but such change will require the efforts of congressmen, state legislators, the Department of Education, which is run by an incompetent fucking cuntwaffle, university trustees, and the taxpayers who directly and indirectly fund American higher education. And we need many more champions of the university's mission to study and teach the best which has been thought and said in the world, and through this knowledge turning a stream of fresh and free thought upon our stock notions and habits which we now follow staunchly but mechanically, vainly imagining that there is a virtue in following them staunchly which makes up for the mischief of following them mechanically, as Andrew Arnold wrote. David Horowitz has long tried to hold accountable the presumed guardians of the university's mission. It's time for more citizens to join him and dismantle the stock notions and habits of the left that are responsible for so much of our country's political and cultural mischief. Reading the left in the university is a place to start. I'm not gonna fucking do that. Also, fun fucking fact about the Dick Stain who fucking wrote this. He is a shit. This is fucking hilarious. Is a Shillman journalism fellow at the David Horowitz Freedom Center. So not only is the word shill in this motherfucker's title at the fucking David Horowitz Freedom Center, but he's sucking the dick of the person who fucking employs him. Holy shit. What the fuck? We're supposed to take what you fucking say seriously when you're sucking your boss's dick as hard as Donald Trump is sucking Vladimir Putin's cock. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Seriously, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself in your idiot asshole. Let's just look up some... My voice is going because I've been fucking yelling. Let's look up some David Horowitz quotes, shall we? I'm sure it'll be like, he didn't fucking say that shit. Alright, whew, my throat really is hurting. Let's go to A to Z quotes. Cuba's poverty is... Let's read the... Alright. Come on. Let's see. Cuba's poverty is caused by the crackpot Marxist doctrines imposed by its sociopathic ruler and promoted by half the liberal arts professors on American faculties. My parents called themselves progressives. The agenda was a Soviet America. The slogan of the Communist Party in those days was peace, jobs, democracy. Sound familiar? The Communist Party is the Democratic Party, even though there's a fucking Communist Party of the United States of America any fucking way. And even though the Democratic Party is not necessarily as left as the fucking communists would want it to fucking be, or even the socialists would want it to be, but whatever. Inside many liberals is a totalitarian screaming to get out. They don't like to have another point of view in the room that they don't squash, and the way they try to squash it is by character assassination and name-calling. Donald Trump, he called, like, think about this shit. How many fucking communications directors, how many press secretaries has he gone through in the last 9 fucking months of his presidency? He's gone through like 10 fucking people combined? Even more than that? It's like Donald Trump tried to get Jamel Harris, I do believe that's her name, Jamel Harris, fucking fired for calling Donald Trump a white supremacist. Donald Trump called the fucking players who are protesting police brutality sons of bitches. It's like, the fuck? Everybody knows, but no one wants to say that the Democratic Party has become the party of special interest bigots and racial dividers. It runs the one-party state that controls public services in every major inner city, including the corrupt and failing school systems in which half the students, mainly African American and Hispanic, are denied a shot at the American dream. In practice, socialism didn't work, but socialism could never have worked because it is based on false premises about human psychology and society and gross ignorance of human economy. Exactly what the fuck is human economy? Please fucking explain that shit to me, sir. You fucking idiot asshole. The university is not a political party, and education is not an indoctrination. If you have to invoke a distant past to justify a present grievance, the case for the grievances is already undermined. Motherfucker, that just undercuts what the fuck I just read for the past probably 30 fucking minutes at this goddamn point. If you have to invoke a distant past to justify a present grievance, the case for the grievance is already undermined. David Horowitz had to go back to the fucking 1910s and the 1930s. He had to go 100 years in the motherfucking past to make his fucking point. By his own internally consistent logic, he's fucked. He lost that fucking argument when he fucking started the fucking thing. Less inability to understand the most basic economic fact that people need an incentive to produce has caused the unnecessary deaths of tens of millions of people, mostly poor, in the last 75 years. But thanks to a politically corrupted media and educational system, their pig-headed pursuit of socialist fantasies goes on. Which to me is fucking hilarious given the fact that Donald Trump is the president of the United fucking States of America. The fucking Republicans have held the goddamn Senate for 8 fucking years, going on 9 years at the end of this fucking year. And they still can't get shit done. They still can't get shit done. They control the fucking executive branch and the fucking legislative branch, and they still can't get shit done. They're having trouble passing a fucking repeal act of Obamacare. They control both of the important fucking machinations for this shit, and they still can't fucking do it. It's because people don't want it to fucking go. Like, in fact, they want Obamacare to cover more fucking people and just kind of go to single-payer healthcare. For many Washington liberals, terrorism was not the instrument of political fanatics and evil men, but was the product of social conditions, poverty, racism, and oppression, for which the Western democracies, including Israel, were always ultimately to blame. Anybody who says that there's not just evil fucking people, like people who just want to... It's fucking dumb. But, like, America has fucked with the Middle East and fucked with other countries for a while. And to say that we don't have some fucking blame for the shit that comes back at us is kind of fucking ignorant to me. It's like... Fucking... Like, why the fuck do you think we have Iran now? It's because we fucking installed the Shah, overthrew a fucking democratically elected fucking government. It's like, fucking Israel fucking bombs the shit out of civilians wantonly. They don't give a shit if they kill Palestinian civilians. They make fucking excuses for that shit. I'm not saying that Israel doesn't have a right to fucking exist, but the current leaders of this fucking country are fucked in the head. Israel is the canary in the mine. What happens to Israel will eventually happen to America itself. So we'll just start, well, I guess because Donald Trump wanted to kill fucking terrorist families, which is a fucking war crime. He wants to blow up the entire country of fucking North Korea. Fuck the fallout. Fuck the fact that's a fucking war crime. That's a crime against fucking humanity. Fuck the collateral fucking damage in South Korea, in Japan, the fucking Southeast Asian sphere of the fucking world. The founders were not Democrats and socialists, but conservatives who had a healthy distrust of political passions and who devised a complex system designed to frustrate the schemes of social redeemers and others convinced of their own invincible virtue. They were also slave owners. They were fucking Washington, Jefferson, fucking pretty much everybody else except for like Ben Franklin owned fucking slaves. A couple other fucking people might not own slaves, but like but it's like, they set up a system, political passions, like, they set up a system so only white landowning men could fucking vote. And I guess you're fine with that. Because you're white. Even though you're friends with fucking neo-Nazis who probably would fucking kill you because your last name's fucking Horowitz. You know, the world today will make strange goddamn bedfellows. If blacks are oppressed in America, why isn't there a black exodus? Number one, because They're citizens. Number two, where the fuck would they go? I'm assuming you mean just go back to Africa. Or, go back and just go to fucking Africa. Because a lot of them were fucking born here. It's like, you think white people are so fucking oppressed? Why the fuck don't you get your cracker ass fucking stomping back to fucking Europe? Oh wait, there's too many fucking brown people for your taste there. There's fucking black people and fucking Middle Eastern people there. It's too dark for your fucking taste, Mr. Horowitz. That's probably why you don't get to step into fucking Scandinavia or fucking, other fucking countries. There can be no peace with someone who wants to kill you. That is very fucking poignant given today's climate. When people are like, you shouldn't fucking punch Nazis, it's like, we're not gonna have a fucking powwow. Like, me and the white nationalists are not gonna have a fucking powwow. We're not gonna come to a fucking peace talk. He's gonna fucking say some shit. I'm gonna fucking open a hand and slap him in the side of the fucking head. And then presumably just kick him in the fucking balls until he until he's pissing and throwing up blood. Anyway, ta-ta, everybody. I'm gonna go rest my fucking voice.